I'm not the captain, but the proper captain, I won't drop names, didn't want to have to deal with the hassle of like doing the interview, doing like checking on Discord, etc. And I don't mind it, so they just appointed me as captain.
He's
So
so I
that's
get
pretty
it.
much it. Yeah.
I
But
get it.
there's not really a reason like behind it.
All
It's
right.
just, you know.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Who said? I know some people like that. So yeah, All right. Next question. When you win or lose games, do you normally like analyze your matches to figure out what you could improve on?
Yes, normally after the game or the day after, normally the day after, we go over the game and try to look at what we could have done better. Try to look at maybe misplays we made or like how we could have, if something went wrong on one side, we could have like impacted the other. I mean, always try to improve from the mistakes.
Hmm. All right. All right. Now, one last question, just a small chill
Okay.
one. Are there like any other games you and your team play like out of League?
Um, our support is a big fan of card games. He plays Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Digimon, I think.
That's awesome.
Our jungler plays FIFA,
All
if I'm
right. All
not
right.
mistaken. I used to play Overwatch a while back,
A
um,
classic.
but not that I know. Like our mid plays pretty much any game he can get his hands on.
All right.
So that's pretty much it.
Classics, dude. I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
card games. I used to play
Yeah.
Overwatch a
Okay.
lot myself.
Okay.
They're very nice games. They're very chill, very
Yeah.
chill.
Very tilting games, but nice
Of
games.
course, yeah. All right. Now moving on to Akali. Hello.
Yes. Hello, hello.
All right. So, how did your team come together?
We played in some tournament a while back. We just changed the support. I mean, we're all friends. We all know each other, IRL.
Oh, okay.
And that's about it. Yeah.
All right, all right. So I assume you guys like go out frequently as like a group, and you just like
Yeah.
chill
We
and
try
relax.
to we try to create some events between us. Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. So going off of that question, do you have like any like restaurants or places that you guys would like your favorite places to go to?
Our jungler usually gives us all the ideas for restaurants. I just shit on his ideas every single time. Uh, we went for sushi once, San Juan, I think. They
uh
enjoyed it. I don't like sushi.
oh shit. All right, no wonder you just hate his ideas.
But yeah,
All right, now one last question. Who in your team is the would you say is the morale booster?
morale booster.
Yeah, so if you
Uh,
like if you like are having a very tough game, who's normally the guy that like tries to boost the motivation back up?
I'd say it's either the ADC or me. Uh,
Hmm,
Probably the ADC, because if I tilt, if it's my lane and I tilt, I kind of shut down. But
happens.
yeah,
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for the small interviews. You can join your respective VCs and good luck.
thank you. Good luck.
Good luck. See you.
Good luck, guys. See
GG.
you. Joining me casting this important game today is Thomas, also known as Levon One.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yo, just checking. Do you have the what's it called? The soundboard
Hmm.
ready.
Oh, I do. It's always on the ready for this one specifically. I mean, I've got like, you know.
Oh wait, I just realized they started their draft.
Oh no,
Do you have the
where's the
link?
link?
I'll send you the link.
No, I do not.
Okay, in the
There you go,
meantime though,
Bomba.
they have banned Bard and Yon.
Bard and Yone. Yone, I
Oh, I
do
have
not know. Maybe
a new
Blood Wolves
transition.
play him as a main. Darius getting banned out from Blood Wolves. Bard, really strong champion in the 5v5 format. We're just not sure if Cavalieri would be utilizing him. Poppy getting banned out. Blood Wolves
Very nice
not being
ban.
allowed that mobility denial.
Mm-hmm.
Very efficient ban. I think Poppy has become a kind of a nightmare in this tournament. Everyone seems to be in some way or another terrified
Yes,
or hating on her. Volibear getting banned out.
that's a
An
very good
unusual
ban.
ban. An unusual ban, but a good one nonetheless. They're trying to establish that the top lane will not be fighting Darius or Volibear.
Definitely, Volibear. I'd argue is one of like stronger champions this patch. Like I've seen some
Mhm.
very nasty stuff with
Yep,
volatility.
either full AP or full bruiser, he's strong and reliable. Cavalieri banning out Zaya, and Blood Wolves picking Akali as their first
Akali,
pick.
of course,
Wait,
of course.
is this actually going to be finally be Akali on Akali?
This is actually Akali on Akali.
Finally. Watch him give the champion to someone else just so that we have to get confused saying Akali's doing this, but then the player is doing something else.
I feel like this might have been a smart pick from Cavalieri because they might have someone that can counter an Akali player.
Ooh, Yasuo.
Yasuo.
Not sure how that's a counter, but they just banned Yon and picked Yasuo. It's like they're trying to make it a one-way wind tunnel.
This is gonna be a very intense mid lane if Yasuo is mid lane. This could be ADC Yasuo as well.
Nothing's impossible here, and Rakan getting picked out, even though they banned Zaya. What is this? It's like they ban one champion from the duo and then they pick the other. What's gonna happen next? Who's Poppy's duo?
Vayne. I think from that one cinematic.
Oh, I see.
Alright. Let's see who Blood Wolves pick. Preferably they try to pick like someone that can sustain Akali or a frontline since they do not have.
Ooh, frontline and peel. You've got Brom getting hovered by Blood Wolves.
Ah, there we go. As soon as I mentioned someone to peel for the Akali or a tank, there goes the Brom pick.
That's the 2-1-1, and you've got protection in the name of Mr. President. Yasuo's tornadoes will not be going through this time around.
They might try to pick some more attack speed focused champions to try to proc Brom's.
First Aphelios from this tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
This might be the first, actually.
True. Yeah. So the first Aphelios coming through, a great champion in the 5v5 format. I'm very surprised that he has not yet been picked with so much versatility, damage, and such a very strong mid to late game. I'm baffled actually that he hasn't been picked yet.
With Brom, I'd argue that they're like a very good duo as well because Aphelios, depending on his gun, can easily proc Brom's W passive.
He can give him some cold claps.
Yep.
And that's Wukong getting picked from the side of Cavalier. Yet another game with a Wukong in it. It's almost like the nightmares don't stop coming back to haunt me. Cavalieri showing yet another Wukong. They've now got 2 knockups for that Yasuo. If Blood Wolves do not ban Malphite, he might also get picked just for the sake of that wombo combo. Just to tell Aphelios, like, hey, listen, you might as well, turn this game into grayscale. And Cavalieri banned a red square. We do not know what this is. We're gonna have to ask, what was that ban? Question mark. Who's that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pika. Oh, it's Cassio.
It's Cassio. Ekans. If you said Ekans, it would have been pretty close.
And there goes the Ziggs ban. Now,
Ooh.
Where would Ziggs have been played in this comp? Would this have been like an APC?
It would have been the other flex champion to allow him to go either mid lane or ADC. They'd have a very flexible team, so you wouldn't be able to counterpick them directly. Especially if Cavalier are comfortable with a large pool of champions, they'd be able to swap around as much as they could. And we're stuck at 9 seconds.
And it's stuck. All right, well, that's why we got the soundboard ready.
There we go. Well, pardon me.
We have to bring this back, dude. Oh god. Now I don't know what's gonna happen. Are they gonna? I think since they just had like the last few picks and bans, I'm assuming they're just gonna do them over like league chats.
Ours is frozen. Perhaps. Do you think that we could ask them to do this in game? I mean, we're in a blind pick lobby right now.
We are in a blind pick lobby. I do not think that they would actually
be able to continue as they were going.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. What's happening?
Oh, it unfroze. Fantastic. Okay,
what?
guess. Well, Cavalieri have now banned 2 questionable Pokemon. Who's the second one?
Mazahar. If they look at Mazahar, it's a very strong pick against Akali.
And they do. They lock in Malzahar, securing a very powerful carry denial from the Cavalieri side.
Mazahar managing to clear lane so fast would have to force the Akali to play around him. And knowing that Mazahar has a very skillful ultimate, the Akali would not be able to tower dive him.
Wait a minute, we're seeing this wrong. Akali, the player, is on the side of Cavalieri, so Akali, the champion, is on the side of Blood Wolves.
Oh, did I mix
Oh
it up?
no! Yes, we mixed it up, and they are
Oh,
going to
oops.
make the commentating over this game a nightmare.
Womp womp.
Speaking of nightmares, Gwen and Olaf both get picked out, champions that can completely rip through whatever Cavalieri has been building up as champions
I'm,
for
assu-
that amazing frontline and wombo combo fighting.
I'm assuming
Mm.
that they might not pick a tank as their last champion, considering, as you mentioned, they have Gwen and Olaf. But they
Cavalieri just
do.
hovered Cho'Gath and for some reason locking Cho'Gath into Gwen. Do they have a death wish? Are they going to be throwing this game? Find out more once we get into the Summoner's Rift itself.
Yep. Oh my god.
With that said, what I was trying to say is Cavalieri, their draft looks incredible. They have a very powerful frontline dive, and they have carry denial as well from that Malzahar. The Cho'Gath coming in at the end was a very unexpected pick and something that I did not expect. A fighter here would have looked better.
Not only that, but they also have plenty knockups for Yasuo to proc his ultimate very easily. This could
Maybe
be.
this is the ultimate cheese comp.
This feels like the ultimate cheese scope for Yasuo. They all have knockups or massive CC with the Mazahar skill button.
Blood Wolves also have the ultimate skill button called True Damage, both on Gwen's Q, ult, passive, and Olaf's E. We are not going to be seeing Cavalieri's tanks or frontline lasting too long in these fights, but with that said, Blood Wolves do have a team that looks like it would scale towards the mid game, and if they are not going to keep themselves coincide and they're not going to keep the plays together, then they might end up falling apart just before we get to the mid game, and then not ending up carrying on this power train of a draft.
Absolutely. This is as I said before, these are two very strong teams, both having like a massive presence in the past games they've played. And at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, the pick'ems are leaned towards it being even, which is interesting. They're 6-6.
Ooh, 6-6. That is a 50-50. The first 50-50 that I'm seeing so far. I've predicted 50-50 a few times, but unfortunately, it has only come through now on the third week, midway through the week on Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm not very good with these predictions.
Neither am I. Neither am I. I would still
Well,
ask you though, who would you think would actually win this game?
I mean, Blood Wolves just need to last until 20 minutes, and then the game's pretty much in their bag. There is nothing that Cavalier would be able to do to stop that absolute nightmare of a pain train called Olaf and Gwen from ripping through their front line and destroying everything they've ever built up. But with that said, the only ranged champion on the team of Cavalieri is actually Malzahar. Everyone else is a melee fighter or tank.
Yep, making it a bit hard for Mazahar. Even like my from what I'm guessing, I think Mazahar might try to focus the Gwen in fights, so the Cho'Gath would be able to survive. But
Here's
even
a small thing, though. I don't think that's gonna work. Gwen would switch on her W and then just sit out the Malzahar damage inside.
definitely, it's a very tough matchup for both teams. To be honest, I don't know how each team can pull off their own respective plays. I do like the fact that Cavalieri did pick three knockups for Yasuo though. It seems like from what I'm gauging, they're trying to force him to be the carry for the game.
Perhaps this is going to be a bouncy castle matchup.
But also, seeing that there was the Mazahar pick, this Yasuo is going bot lane. Have you seen many Yasuo bot lanes?
No, not really. I mean, I saw one in rank not too long ago, and that thing was terrifying. But in this tournament, so far, no, not that many Yasuo bot lanes. We
There's
saw Lee Sin bot lane not too long ago being performed by Versio.
it's a weird. It's like it's one of those champions that's melee, but could still work in the bot lane, considering that he has a lot of gap closing.
I mean, hey, if you are good enough at the champion, you can make it work wherever and whenever.
Definitely,
That's what
definitely.
I'm gonna say. But how that's gonna work in this kind of a team format, where everyone is supposed to be able to communicate with everyone, where plays are to be made left, right, and center, where you are meant to be shot calling at all moments and trying to establish plays that cannot be outsmarted. We'll see. We'll see. Is all I'm gonna say.
Definitely. We're
Hanara, so to
Hana
say.
Hanarao, as they say.
Hmm.
All right, we're soon gonna be loading up into the match. As soon as I say that, we're loading in right now.
Hey.
I'll be switching over in a second. Just gonna make sure that League actually loads us into the game first. Then I'll put the screen up. You have access to the game, right?
I'm in.
All right,
I'm in. I'm all
perfect.
good. I've been here before you. Well,
Ooh.
actually, no, that's a baseless claim. I wouldn't be too sure. I was AFKing right before you joined the VC.
All right, here we go.
I love the cat transformation screen from your stream.
I have to
It's funny as hell.
I have to thank Luke for that. He's the one that made it so so grainy.
You can make it even more grainy. If you pop an image into Microsoft Teams, then make it small, and then zoom it back out again, it will keep the old resolution because
Oh.
it doesn't rasterize the images.
Oh dear God! Oh, that would be awesome. I wanted to try to make it look visible. It's like I have to try to find the balance for it.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be suffering. No, I'm already seeing it. The chat is saying about the Akali.
Yeah, Hadulu Lakali.
They're asking to see Bodgar's mastery on Yasuo.
Oh, are they? Oh, let's go check.
Yep.
He has 400k almost. That's pretty high,
Mamma
actually.
mia. Some people need new hobbies. With no offense to the player, of course. I mean, I could probably have the same amount if I focused on one champion at a time as well. Could have more. I
Definitely.
have a friend with like 2 million or something on Katarina.
Yeah, I know some dude with like 3.21 Yasuo, which is very sad. And he names himself Yasuo as well, so you can tell that he has
Oh no.
unable to download spectator data. Oh, this is going to be great. There we go.
Do you think that this is a genuine bug that we need to talk to Riot Games about?
Yes, time for all of us to just strike their headquarters at this point.
Launch a nuclear missile at Riot Games headquarters. Maybe they would stop releasing. Well, maybe they'd stop releasing champions like Ambessa.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
I'm in and I'm at 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8, 9.
Oh, I'm like 2 seconds behind you then.
Okay, I'm gonna just pause for a second. Okay, I'm good to go.
Alright,
15?
I'm on 15 now. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, let's go.
Alright,
We're only a
let's
second away from each other.
go.
Right, we're seeing a 5-side split from the
yeah.
side of Cavalieri. Meanwhile, all of Blood Wolves runs into the same bush, hoping to get that early game cheese off. They're spamming the ever-living shit out of Cho'Gath. They're trying to make everyone aware that this champion is indeed in the game. However, unfortunately, I think that throughout this game, we won't be seeing much of him because he will be mostly in gray screen.
Nope, yeah. Yeah, like you said, at this point he should just start playing his games in black and white. That's actually a very good... that's actually something very funny to say. I should start using that in my vocabulary more often.
We have a few others that I use every now and then. Like sometimes when I get dived or camped out and I keep on dying in game, I say like, "Yo, I didn't know I was playing a game from the '90s," you know.
They're just small comments that are actually really freaking creative. Almost busted an F-bomb there. Safe.
Right, so we're seeing Olaf starting on that blue and Wukong starting. Sorry, Olaf starting on that red and Wukong starting on blue.
There seems to be might be a level 1 fight happening. Oh, the Rakan missing the W, but they still got nice damage off onto the Braum.
Most unexpected. I was really hoping that they would continue that trade going. Just a Q going out from Braum into Geld's posterior. Hits him, but does not trigger that passive. I was really expecting them to keep that fight going, you know? Considering that Onuris, this game, has pressed the attack, I was really hoping that he would, you know, go off on those trades.
Cho'Gath with a
Speaking
nice
of trades,
early cheese.
Yeah.
Seems to be
Cho'Gath getting some early damage off, yeah. Not bad.
taking the lead on that engage.
Well, I mean, whilst the early game and Gwen hasn't had time to scale for that early to mid power the spike that she gets. Ooh. Oh no.
Cavalier getting the early level 2 engaging onto the Braum, but the Braum surviving on 1 HP. They did use Ignite from the Rakan, however. Braum, seems like Braum will have to be forced to play surviving under the tower.
Maybe he set up a tent, cook some barbecue.
Yep. Have you ever played any of the games that have the song game of Lulu? You could tell that Brom is a very nice camping cook. So I feel like he's just gonna be just cooking under his own tower. He did get all his HP back though.
Ooh, but at what cost? He's already eaten all of his potions, which he came into lane with.
Yep. The Gwen bringing it back to the Cho'Gath, knowing damn well that since she lost the first skirmish, that she has to win on the second one, and she did. Cho'Gath weirdly not starting with Tyr, with Doran's Ring though. I haven't seen that on Cho'Gath much, especially on like a tough matchup against Gwen.
I think that he's just trying to minimize the amount of health he has and try to maximize his trade, so that he makes himself a more dangerous and opposing champion, so that Gwen doesn't just full dive him. Because when you have a big health bar, isn't that just like putting food out for the flies?
Yeah, I
you're
get
like, come on in, I have a lot of HP, come shred it.
Oh, there seems to be a fight happening in the topside river. With Wukong and Cho'Gath. Never mind. They had a fight for the scuttle, but Wukong took the scuttle. Olaf trying
Just
to
left.
Olaf going to the bot lane to get the other one. Alright, Cho'Gath and Gwen going for another skirmish. Going into Cho'Gath's favor with his E. Very strong ability, actually, from Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath actually maxes his E first. I would not have expected that in 1,000 years. I always thought it was his Q.
Same. It's weird.
Yeah, but maxing his Z gives him that really big early game fighting potential.
Olaf with the flank engaging onto the bot lane. The Braum taking a lot of tower shots, and they actually managed to get a flash from the Braum side. Wukong coming to counter gank though. Will they be able to pull this off? Olaf popping a flash. The Aphelios is exhausted. Are they going for the Braum?
Olaf should be cashing out that first blood, I think. No.
Wukong getting the first blood off onto the Braum. Very, very scary chappy to give money to, considering that he can completely destroy some of the bruisier kind of people on their team.
And what's this? Is that actually Cho'Gath shoving in an early wave? Personally, if I was him there, just 2 seconds would have made that tower take so much more damage. Did you know Demolish actually is capped for damage with 4 or 5 minutes?
Really?
Yes, it actually has like a minus 90% damage reduction.
Oh, I knew that like towers have more armor in the beginning, but I didn't think that it would work with Demolish as well.
But unfortunately, Demolish is completely useless until 5 minutes.
The Mazahar is just straight taunting on the Akali though, getting some really nice damage onto the Akali.
Akali is taunting on Akali. I think we're seeing a counter matchup here, perhaps. Being an Akali main and literally naming his account after it, he knows exactly how to counter and how to defeat this strategy.
Absolutely, it's a very smart play from the Akali. Oh, seems like he's trying to go in. Oh, the Mazahar flash, but Mazahar presses his
and
skill
the outplay button.
The Mazahar pressed the skill button and got the kill on the Akali. Damn.
Ooh, how unexpected there with the outplay button in mind. That Malzahar right there pulled off some of the craziest plays we've ever seen in all of LCM. I think we need to actually clip that and frame it in this server.
This is absolute cinema, as everyone says.
Absolute cinema. Correct.
Wukong.
Meanwhile...
Ooh, very nice engage from the Rakan. Yasuo getting another double knockup. Getting a lot of damage off onto the Aphelios.
But Aphelios coming short on that DPS. Unfortunately, he cannot out DPS a Yasuo who is fighting him at melee range.
Especially early games. Aphelios' damage, I'd say, is pretty weak early. Scales more when he gets some items.
Well, although it's pretty weak, it is deceivingly still there. It's like you don't expect it to be there, which is exactly why you would go fight the champion, and then it ends up being there anyways, because I know. Fuck you, that's why.
That's what we say, I call an ambulance, but not for me situation.
Yep. We were seeing what was about to be a fight in the top lane, but Ducky actually did not opt for Flash in that lane and instead took Ghost on a 3-minute cooldown only. He's actually able to escape ganks really easily because the only hard CC on the side of Blood Wolves this game, I didn't notice this in draft, the only hard CC is the Braum passive, ult, and that Gravitum Q from Aphelios.
Oh, true. Now that you mentioned it, they really do not have much CC. You're right.
Yes, on the side of Cavalieri, on the other hand, they've got crowd control galore,
What?
and unfortunately, Gwen there tries to engage without her ultimate, which she wasted earlier, and ends up losing her life because the silence comes through and does not let her cast Q to heal up.
Nope.
Unfortunately, just one auto attack heals her just enough so that she would not die from that execute ult, not giving Cho'Gath that early champion stack. Just a little bit inconvenient, but still okay nonetheless. Unchained, holding his smite, gives up a scuttle. Personally, if that was me, I wouldn't let that slide.
I would not let that slide either. I think he's holding it as a grudge behind his head. So he knows to try to mess this dude up later. This Akali in the meantime is just getting bullied in lane. Constantly.
Unfortunately, this champion, Olaf, on Unchained... Sorry, Unchained on Olaf. Jesus, I'm getting them wrong the entire day today. What's wrong with me? Unchained on Olaf does not have any CC, and his only form of a slow in a gank or gap closer is him throwing his Q, which Akali, with the Malzahar passive, would block.
In the meantime, the jungler in the bot lane, all knowing that Olaf was mid, decided to claim the first Drake of the game.
That's Infernal Drake going towards the side of Cavalieri.
Giving Malzahar a lot more scary damage. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. We're going to be seeing the Space Aids champion coming back again throughout this game. Ooh, Azakana engaging on that fight, dodging Ducky's CC, but Ducky has a massive health bar and it doesn't matter. Even eating every single ability from Azakana's Gwen, he does not give a damn.
Exactly. Just tanks everything and refuses to elaborate further.
I mean, he doesn't need to.
Wukong in the meantime getting a nice engage onto the bot lane. Wow, this is an absolute cinema engage.
And that's a double kill for the side of Cavalieri.
Crazy engage.
Surprise to no one. That bot lane combo comes in crazy.
The Wukong ultimate into the Yasuo ultimate was a very crazy follow-up. The Rakan tried to ult in as well, but the Braum manages to ult to stop the Rakan in time, but it wasn't enough as they both fell at the end. That was
so
absolute cinema.
Ooh, Funky getting some nice trades off on Akali here.
He does hit
both on Akali as a champion and on Akali as a player, you know.
Yeah, this is very confusing. Ooh.
Ooh.
The Wukong doing a big ball move is evading the Olaf. This might not work well in his favor, but he should be fine. Yeah, he's definitely fine.
Wait, no, that's Wukong's jungle. That's Olaf who invaded
Wait,
and actually
it
took
is?
a
What?
red buff and got out for free.
Dude, I'm so confused.
This is a war of inception right here.
Exactly.
Cavalier are secretly mind controlling us and not letting us know what their next move is.
They're not only mind playing their opponents at the moment, they're also mind playing us.
Akali was no Akali against Akali. Wukong in his own jungle, but we're confusing it for Unchained's jungle. What's next?
There seems to be a big fight
that's
happening.
right.
Ooh.
A Void Grub steal.
Wukong getting a nice steal on the Void Grubs. There seems to be a big fight going on though. Olaf ulting into the Malzahar, getting him out of the fight. Cho'Gath to meet him in the middle of 4 people. Still manages to eat the Olaf. Malzahar using the skill button onto the Gwen. Not killing her in time though. Akali backing out with 1 HP. They're all really low. It seems to go.
But Akali gets a reset on his miasma and actually manages to continue up that fight. Actually, wait, is that ability called Mad? Let me double check that. No, Malefic Visions. Oopsies, miasma was Cassio. Oopsies.
Happens to the best of us, boss.
It is what it is.
It seems
Meanwhile,
like
at that exact same time, there was a small skirmish in the bot lane. Yasuo Botgar engaging on Anuris, but not getting much out of it.
Seems like we have an NA player in chat at the moment. We're attracting international viewers. This is very cool.
Fantastic. How come as an NA player who also likes to play in amateur leagues like this, this is fun to see different comps and such.
Ooh.
Yes, do keep an eye out. You never know what kind of enlightenment you may receive from watching a foreign league.
Definitely. Ducky Warrior and Asakana trading shots, but it seems to go into the favor of Ducky Warrior, which is shocking. I did not expect the Cho'Gath to be doing this much damage.
I just think that Azakana is being way too aggressive with this and is fighting way too early on into the game. He needs to wait for Warrior to scale up his health, and he needs to wait for his first or second item. Otherwise, Azakana would end up biting off more than he can chew.
Looks like Wukong is hovering around bot side trying to look for another engage, as he is actually. Hitting an ult onto the Braum. Braum ulting all of them though. There is the Olaf to counter gank though. They didn't. Bodgar ulting the Aphelios, but the Aphelios backing into the tower. Wukong and Yasuo managed to kill Braum. But that's Braum did the wise play and sacrificed his life to save the Aphelios and the Wukong and the Olaf.
Oh, well, with this next minion wave coming in, Bodgar is just going to slip and slide all the way through it. And no, he actually decides not to. He spares Aphelios' life for yet another 15 seconds.
Wukong, in the meantime, knowing damn well that the Olaf is low, can just easily roam into the jungle as he pleases.
Yep, meanwhile, this mid lane looks more like a hate crime. Akali is not letting Funky any space to breathe as he's flooding him with malefic visions and absolutely destroying his health bar under his own tower. Currently, sitting a whole level behind, Akali is unable to catch up to Malzahar.
That was unfortunate from the Cho'Gath. He missed the wave, but the Gwen, in the meantime, actually fully engaging onto Ducky Warrior. Will she be able to pick up the kill here? She does.
Yes, she will. Unfortunately, Ducky Warrior had too long of a distance to walk, and with the mobility available to Azakana with that ghost and his dashes from E, actually manages to catch up and kill Ducky Warrior.
It's unfortunate because he tried to get the plate, and the plates went down just in time as his demolished.
I would have hated that if I was me personally. I would have absolutely despised that.
I would have been mauling as well. Both teams, in the meantime, trading objectives with Bloodwolves getting the Herald, and Cavalier getting their second Drake of the game. Nice engage by the Rakan onto Azakana. Yasuo following up with his ultimate, cornering the Gwen, and eventually Gwen falls to Yasuo.
Yasuo getting quite a lot of kills this game, already sitting at 2-0 on his first item, even though he's supposed to be playing a weak side bot laner. Bloodwolves unfortunately falling apart throughout this early game, the most unfortunate scenario that could have happened to them. Let's see if they manage to slow this game down and scale back over the course of the next 5 to 10 minutes, because this might actually be game ending here. Their draft was not made for this.
Olaf getting shots onto Yasuo, but Yasuo's good one. Yasuo's passive saved him. Yasuo, Olaf fully engaging onto the Yasuo. Olaf CC immune, saving him, but the Yasuo damage is too much and he falls to Yasuo.
Ooh, I wonder what Unchained was thinking there. Unfortunately, he only has 2 component items and no fulls yet.
Woof. Bloodwolves actually turning this fight around into their favor, putting them back into the game slightly.
Ooh. Honoris almost got hit there by the outplay button, but unfortunately the gun swap comes in midway through the fight and he ends up losing 2 guns during one of the most crucial moments that he could have saved himself or gotten a kill back at that moment there. And
Malzahar kill was ADC, screen freeze, Wii remake.
Okay, we need to ask Janssen what the protocol for this is. We actually did have something happen like this during my match. I believe it was against Gunblade. Our top lane matchup was Sion versus Shen, and the Shen unfortunately had a PC freeze midway through the wave.
Oh no.
Which is why he actually missed a lot of minions. I stunned him midway through that wave and left him at a quarter HP, but honorably so, he wasn't responding, and I just left him be. After a few seconds of standing still, he just walked back.
What an honorable
the courteous thing to do. The courteous thing to do. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us that this game sometimes explodes. I think Akali could run it down here for a second just to give that kill to Honoris. I think that would be the honorable thing to do. Right, but with that much of a lead ahead, I don't know. Would he be willing to make the sacrifice? Would he want to keep up his lead? We would never know.
Yeah, I'm not.
This
game seems to be going heavily into the favor of Cavalieri, though. It's crazy. Oh, they're back. I just transitioned. Ooh, give me 1 second. Alright, and the stream is back now.
As you're snapping right back, we're actually seeing a still frame, a painting. We call this one the calm before the storm because Blood Wolves' pony is about to hit that Q on Akali. We actually see him midway through the animation, elbow striking that shield to knock out the Q. As we also see on the right side Asakana coming in to help him clean up this kill.
This is what we call moments before disaster. Does Mazahar actually try to escape? Nah, he won't. The Gwen ultimate making sure that he does not get out of that situation. Durakan is saying he did not wash his hands. Apparently the Mazahar went to the bathroom and did not wash his hands. What a disgusting behavior coming from Mazahar.
What a champion. And Malzahar is, I think, flaming his Cho'Gath, or they're giving him the spotlight because Ducky Warrior, for some reason, seems to be the attention, like the star of the game.
He is at the moment, isn't he? He's had a
Indeed.
He should have had a tough matchup, but he managed to swing it into his favor against the Gwen.
I mean, he's only got 1 or 2 more items until he can fight back, but unfortunately now that he's reached his first full health item and Gwen has reached her first full EP item, now the odds fall into Gwen's favor as there should not be a single fight where Azakana loses to Ducky Warrior. Unfortunately, Ducky Warrior does not realize this on time as he tries for a trade for whatever reason.
Definitely. He might be just trying to get Heartsteel stacks, but it was still
he already had his though. That's the thing. He already had a Heartsteel stack. Maybe he's trading for that grasp. Maybe.
Oh.
Unfortunately, because of that grasp trade, he has to actually recall and use up his TP. The greed of man. A curse like no other. But that Q predict is sweet as honey as he manages to land a stun. But unfortunately, Azakana unleashes his ultimate and does not let him follow through because if he kept chasing there, Azakana would have 100% flipped it on him.
This Mazahar in the meantime is just constantly applying pressure to the mid lane, getting the second tier tower.
No one wants to stop him, despite Unchained having an ability that makes him unstoppable. Even while he's in the worst of positionings and Unchained having his Stridebreaker available to him, he decides that no, I do not want to fight that thing.
I wouldn't blame him.
Is Akali on Malzahar really this dangerous? Is he that much of a menace at this point in the game? We're seeing some rotations on the map here really quickly. This looks like a positioning for them to get the dragon. Cavalieri have actually poised themselves to fully ward out the red buff jungle. Make sure that they have that River Scuttler ready, have a control ward on Drake. They're having their most powerful champions make their way to the mid lane and actually cover that bot lane wave.
Ooh! Nice flash engage from the Wukong. Yasuo getting an out on Spunky. Akali does fall down. Mazahar presses skill button onto the Braum. Braum falls. Olaf, though, with his ultimate, does manage to walk out, but will he manage to fully escape?
Ooh, and Olaf, like the madman he is, just techno walks away. He decides that, you know what, screw clearing jungle, screw ganking my laners, I'm just gonna keep turbo farming. As with all of that dedication and all of that effort that he's put in on turbo farming throughout the early game, he is now a whole 9 farm ahead of Wukong. Let's give it up for Unchained to have 9 farm ahead of Peach White.
Let's go. I don't think you can hear, but I'm clapping right now.
I'll clap for you.
Yeah.
Right, we're seeing some claps happening in the top lane. Azakana unfortunately getting mauled to death by... Ooh! Azakana was about to get mauled to death by Akali's minions, and he ends up dying to Malefic Visions.
Damn! I thought that the Malzahar would just kill the Gwen, no problem, but the Gwen managed to turn that around very well.
Making it a 1-for-1 trade with no winner or no loser in that exchange, as Akali did not at that moment have a shutdown. Did he? Wait, let me check. No. Akali did not have a shutdown on Malzahar at that moment, so this was a 1-for-1 trade with no specific winner. At this moment, I'd like to take your eyes off of the game and just for a second onto the statistics. We've got 3 Drakes on Cavalieri and a 7,000 gold lead. Meanwhile, both teams hold 3 Void Grubs. Void Grubs. I keep on calling them the wrong thing because it's Rift Herald and Void Grubs and Baron Nasher. You know, I could call them the Baron Grubs or or the River Nasher.
Just wait until Atakan comes out, then it's gonna get even more confusing.
Oh no, I would have to say like a name with Arabic origin midway through my game.
The Arabic players are eating well tonight. Ooh!
The chance they are.
Wukong getting a nice ultimate onto the Olaf. The Olaf, however, ulting away. Mazahar getting out of on his own. Almost killing Wukong.
No, Malefic Visions end up taking down Unchained. As that burn is just too much to handle. This Akali on this Malzahar is too much to handle.
It's scary seeing a 7-2 Malzahar with Leandries and Blackfire Torch.
Ooh, as he goes ahead and TPs to the bot lane to try and save this tower, but he now goes for a rematch with Asakana from that earlier matchup. But what's this? Why does he still have health left over after eating a full combo? Asakana waiting up and getting a slide Q. Snipping away at Akali's health and absolutely destroying him under his own tower, wasting both his flash and TP at the same time.
Very nice kill from Asakana. Arguably one of the better champions for them to have Baron, and now they just lost it.
Yes, indeed. Actually, I think that would be a very fun interaction if Malzahar would get a buff to his minions from his W, his Voidlings, when he has Baron. I think that'd be a very funny interaction.
I don't even know how that interaction would go out, actually.
I mean, if they'd just be considered minions, then it'd be pretty funny, but I think then it would cause some spaghetti code to happen from Riot's side.
Oh yeah, as we know.
Indie company, it's okay. So let's not worry about that one too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that an objective might be spawning soon, considering that, wait, no, never mind. I'm just tweaking. I thought Baron was spawning, but then I completely forgot that they just killed Baron. It's an oopsies.
Hey, you're right. What's happening then? We're currently at the 23rd minute. It didn't take them this long to take the dragon. When's the next Drake coming up? Let me check for you. And that's a minute and a half for the next Cloud Drake.
Ooh, so
we should be seeing the team getting some pressure on this top lane, going for a reset and then going for that setup on bot to mid side.
Getting second tier tower in the top lane is big. That's a lot of gold going to the Yasuo and the Wukong and the Rakan.
But I think the gold isn't the main focus here, as Ducky Warrior and Azakana are duking it out in the bot lane again. Azakana absolutely ripping and tearing through Ducky Warrior's health, almost going back to full HP, but he's just too fast. Ducky Warrior with that ghost manages to just press one button and run off.
Just walks off and refuses to elaborate further. I keep saying that joke, but because it's so funny.
Well, no need to stop saying it because it applies every time. Bloodwolves here having to defend their Nexus, inhibitors from getting destroyed.
It seems like
are fighting an uphill battle.
Seems like Cavalieri are applying a 1-3-1 style push, where they're just getting pressure on all lanes. Asakana is still managing to kill Ducky Warrior, however. This Gwen is like slowly coming back into the game though.
Ooh, but I think this is the ultimate bait from Cho'Gath. He respawns in 40 seconds. We've got that Drake coming up in 15 seconds. Ooh. Perchance, if they manage to stall out long enough, this right here could be the play of a century. Nice. As Yasuo actually goes in for the 2v3 ultimate with Geld. Managing to fight it off, but unfortunately all of his auto attacks go into Brom's shield. Going down, he takes two with him, and so does Aphelios. Onur is grabbing a double kill from that exchange. Both of the teams coming out with something to gain from that engage. But where did the shutdowns go? Could you help?
The shutdowns went into Yasuo's favor. Wait, no, the shutdowns went into Aphelios' favor. That was my bad.
Okay. So Aphelios now should have a massive money boost. But if we press tab and we hold X, we actually see that there is a massive canyon in between this Aphelios and Yasuo's financial situations. Yasuo currently sitting at 11,000 gold and Aphelios falling short at 7,800. An absolute nightmare for the side of Bloodwolves.
There's a massive canyon also happening in mid lane where we can see that Mazahar is 3,000 gold above the Akali as well. But however, Blood Wolves are still like they're bringing this match back into their favor. It looked very
Their
lost.
team fight is saving them just this little bit. It's just helping them out with that small scuff up. Maybe if they just waited a little bit throughout this game, maybe this would have been a way easier game for them to win. Because quite truly, if I were to be honest here, Unchained would have been able to rip through the backline and be able to destroy that Malzahar solo during team fights. But unfortunately, at this stage in the game, we're actually seeing Azarkana getting one shot by Akali's Malzahar.
Yep, the skill button coming through from Mazahar, and Yasuo there to clean up and get the shot, get the kill on the Gwen. Cho'Gath in the meantime is taunting, thinking nah he doing.
As he gets collapsed on by 4 people actually.
They have no damage output. It's Cho'Gath and Rakan. They don't have damage, and they just eventually succumb to every single other member on the team. The Rakan getting
Pony.
nice.
Wait. Okay, I was about to say, is Pony inting this? Is he going to take Malefic Visions and transfer it onto Funky? As
Nice.
Bodgar actually comes in from behind and manages to pull off some plays on Funky.
No, oh, that is unfortunate for the Yasuo. Now he just stuck inside the enemy's base. They are, however, just fully pushing. The Rakan just trying to stall the Olaf out as much as he can.
He's succeeding, there's no failure in that plan right there.
This Rakan, this Rakan is doing God's work against the Olaf at the moment, not letting him back whatsoever. Seems like Olaf has had enough and is just trying to kill him.
Unfortunately, with that annoying mosquito of a champion, Rakan, he's unable to do anything. And Cho'Gath actually tries to one-shot a Felix right before the game ends. Wukong cashing out a plus 50 and leaving. No explanations needed. We actually see a perfect KDA from Wukong, 3 and 8 and 0, and a KDA of 11. Wow. Talk about jungle diff.
This is a very good game. It's tough to say. It's tough to say because they all did really well, especially Cavalieri. They've played their team comp really well.
Yep, I was actually very surprised to see them turn this around. I was thinking maybe Blood Wolves, with how their team was looking, would be more aggressive. If they lasted through that mid to late game, they would have been able to, just continue steamrolling with the amount of damage that Asakana was doing. Actually, the most damage in the game, coming in on second, is Akali on his Malzahar, just 2,000 down. That's just how much damage he was doing.
Yep. Malzahar being a very scary champion, especially against the Akali, which is well played pick coming from Blood Wolves, knowing from Cavalieri, knowing. Oh, wait, no, I'm confusing.
Seeing that Blood Wolves picked out Akali as their first champion, I think that this was actually the players Akali's call. He said, like, listen, if they're playing Akali and I'm a main of this champion, I'm going to know how to counter it. So just through his knowledge of how to play the champion, he knew how to counter the champion as well.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say was the MVP was from Cavalieri, though?
Ooh, okay, so from Cavalieri, Ducky was a complete menace. That entire game, he was showing us that he was not to be messed around with. He was pushing waves when he was faced off with that Gwen. He was perfectly managing his health and his mana with his passive and whatnot. Peach White had a very, very impressive jungle run. This time around, he showed us how powerful Wukong is in his hands and that he is not to be taken lightly as well. Akali coming in with the most damage on their team falls into a very, very high contender, as he did push out 2 mid lane turrets before being contested. He just was that. He just was that guy. Bodgar and Yasuo was a complete menace as well. It's really a hard decision here. I didn't see too much of Geld here, but that's because the support does not really shine in these kinds of games.
Definitely, he's the kind of guy that sets.
Honorable mention, guys. The supports of our tournament.
Actually,
just making them more visible.
Big shout out to the supports in the game, the ones that like control the game behind the scenes and not getting the recognition they deserve.
Right, so with that said, I think personally I would elect Akali, but let's have a look at what the team lead himself thinks and let them decide from here on out.
Okay, in the meantime, after the MVP interview, we have the analysis coming from from Luke Palo. Would you be joining us for that actually?
No, actually, the co-caster does not join for analytics. Instead, the co-caster takes a 5-minute break, gets himself a refreshing drink, and comes back for the next game, while you
Oh.
slave away while looking at analytics statistics. Haha.
I did not know that. Oh no. I'm messing around. It's very
Wait
chill.
a minute, wait a minute. That was the only game scheduled for today. I was looking at Thursday. Today was only Cavalieri versus Blood Wolves.
Yeah.
I actually will be leaving you here for today.
All right. All
Uh,
right.
how
Thank you very
unexpected.
much. Thank you very much for the co-casting. It's always a pleasure casting with you, Thomas.
Right, thank you too. Keep your eyes open because tomorrow it'll be my match, and I do want to be receiving some of that special treatment commentary. You know.
You will be receiving the
Actually,
best commentary available. Hopefully.
actually, wait. Now that that's said, I think miscreants were actually having a small issue. We are discussing this on the administration side. All right, no promises,
Oh yeah, I
guys. No
heard about it.
promises.
Yeah, no promises. We'll hopefully see what happens tomorrow.
Should have kept my mouth shut.
All right. I'm
Right.
gonna head out.
Thank you very much, High Tech Row.
Yep, I'll be heading out for
You're
the
off to
MP interview.
analytics.
Yep.
Yep.
See you. Thank you.
See you.
For the casting.
Goodbye.
And see you. Okay. In the meantime, we will be interviewing the MVP of the game, which Cavalieri have elected Peach White. Peach White being the Wukong, the jungler. I'll just ping him to join when ready. There he is. Hello. Hello. You were the Wukong, right?
Yes, Wukong indeed.
Well played on the game. You just had a perfect KD and you just set your team up for success.
I tried my best. I was voted MVP this game because I ganked bot for once, because I usually play with top. I usually play top side, so a new achievement for me. But yeah, that's why I'm MVP, I guess.
Loki, you had some really nice engages, especially like one engage in the bot lane where you just got a double knock up. I just wanted to point that out. It was very nice.
I think they really ignored the fact that I'm playing Wukong. If they drafted, I think a bit better, I think they would have removed Wukong, because last game against who was it, Versio, we played it with Wukong as well, and it was quite a menace. So, or no, let's not say menace. It was against the Versio. I mean, they're very good. Juan number one, by the way. It was a very good pick. Let's say that. So maybe a bit of a minus from their side, but apart from that, I think the Olaf pick was very good. Although he didn't really have the chance to snowball, but
yeah, he didn't have much chance. You guys just kind of decimated that game.
exactly, Gwen started to snowball, and then we were like, okay, we need to end the game, because we don't
Yeah.
want we don't want anything to do with her. And when she went to bot on her own, it's like, okay, that's GG then.
I was about to ask you literally what was the advice you'd give to Blood Wolves, but it seems like you've already answered that question before I even asked it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Aphelios, well, I think he was a bit weak in terms because of the lane. Maybe he's not used to playing against the Yasuo Rakan, which is a very unusual pick.
It is very
They're all,
unusual.
their Gwen played very well except for the last part. She overextended quite a bit, so that's where I guess they were punished. Olaf played well, I would say. I don't think he did chase quite a bit sometimes, so that gave them, or at least that exposed him quite a bit. Before we did Baron, in fact, he was just on his own, without any vision. So I just W'd EQ alt, and that's him half HP or nearly dead. So bam, free Baron.
Mm.
Apart from that, and mid lane, I didn't really see how much he played, but I think the fact that he chose Akali into an Akali main was
Yeah,
was not
it was kind of ballsy from their end. I'll give it to them. Props to them.
exactly. But
but
obviously, GG to Blood Wolves, I I think they played very well, considering that from the other games that I've watched them play, they were a bit, maybe they're getting used to each other, I would say. So props and heads off to them.
definitely. Thank you for the short interview. Once again, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much. I guess we have a 50% win rate now, 3-3, I think.
Let's go. That's actually much better than most of the teams, myself included, our team included.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you for the game, dude. Well played to you and your
Thank you
team.
very much. Have a good night.
Same to
Chat,
you.
chat spam Juan number one. If Juan has a million fans, then I am one of them. If Juan has 10 fans, then I am one of them. If Juan has no fans, then I am dead. Thank you. GG, guys.
GG's.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
We'll be now heading on to the analysis. The analysis being with Miscreants Luke. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Are we ready
How
for
are?
the analysis?
Of course we are. One moment, as people are messaging me, and I need to close that. Sorry about that.
Yep, no problem. I just have to transition to the screen really quick. Here we are.
Let me know when you're ready. So,
Already.
Um, the game started early with almost every side on the side of Cavalieri being ahead. We can quickly look at the gold in this game state at 9 minutes. We have Shogun is ahead of the Gwen slightly. Malzahar was able to find the solo kill in the mid lane, and this bot lane is mega ahead of the CS. Although Yasuo here is would really want to back here, and we are seeing Peach White here, the MVP of this game, positioning aggressively in this bush, perhaps looking to catch Pony and Honoris on this shove. Um, they will face check this with their all of being topside Cyclone into the Yasuo ult. Beautiful. Bramwell does come out to interrupt the Rakan. However, by that point, Honoris is that Brom is locked up in CC, and all of a sudden, Pony still knocked up by the skew. Ignite does come through from Glad just to secure that the kill has been found. And at this point, if we quickly look at the gold, we're seeing that Honoris is so far behind this Yasuo that this bot side is completely lost for the side of Bloodwolves, at least in the laning phase. Then we see a Grubs fight come out here at around 11 minutes actually. So here we will see Peach White go into the pit, will find the steal away for the fourth grab, denying for grabs. Now Peach White is stuck in the pit. He will be able to buy so much time. Prone passive applied in time. However, now Akali and Peach White flash both together backwards. Ducky Warrior, he's tanky. He's eating up a lot of damage here. He's just absorbing so many abilities from the side of Bloodwolves. Then the Cho'Gath able to find the Olaf. Akali does find the Cho'Gath in return, but at this point she's way too deep. The ult from Funky almost finds Peach White so low. However, now Akali is just free firing with her W, puts out the minions, and here Bloodwolves get completely wiped. Pony dies as well, and it's a 3-for-1 in this top side, and even in Night of the Grubs. Honoris does manage to survive this. However, here by this point the game is kind of lost, and the final nail in the coffin was a 24-30, where if we go here, we are seeing that Soul is spawning. Ducky Warrior here will be caught out a bit. He had expended his ghost a bit earlier to escape Azakana, and Azakana is able to find him. With Cloud Soul spawning in just 50 seconds, here I think that they do get slightly baited into the stop side, as there is a bit of a shove coming here. Glad does recall very aggressively. The Bromwood gets used prematurely to try and catch out this Rakan. Rakan goes to the safety of his Yasuo. Charm immediately there as soon as Akali goes in into the Yasuo. Double knock-up ult. By that point, Funky has to get out, and it is just going to be at the end of the day a 2-for-2. And Dragon at this point is up, securing Cloud Soul for Peach White and Glad on Rakan and Wukong. Two champions who can utilize the Cloud Soul so effectively. And at that point, they Cavalieri just have the soul, have the bigger wallet. They will find the win here. They do not they play a bit around. Funky here makes it out, but they are just too strong. Very good here as well on Rakan to deny the base on Unchained. He's being so annoying, buying so much time for his team, not allowing Unchained to go with the rest of his team. And because of that, Eve Rakan still being annoying, at the end of the day, we will see Unchained not even able to return back to base, as the Nexus is destroyed on the side of Cavalieri. A clean game, in my opinion, on the side of Cavalieri. That's all from my side.
This was definitely a really well played match from Cavalieri. Undeniably, the Rakan denying the all off the back was actually I low-key think it was very funny.
it was very funny, and also very crucial, and also giving even a chance for Bloodwoods to find the return play.
Yep, Rakan being like that one mosquito that you cannot find when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah, and I think something I really want to point out is you do not pick someone's main against him. You are like asking for it because that dude definitely knows how to counter you. And we saw the Malzahar counter. Just press R on Akali, and Akali is useless for 2.5 seconds, and the team will destroy her. So Akali, the in-game name, the person played the Malzahar really well against an Akali. So
What a shocker.
what a shocker!
All right. Thank you for your analysis, Luke. It
Yeah.
was a pleasure. I think with this we will be closing out the stream though, as this was our only game today.
Unfortunately, yes.
I would like to say one thing before we head out though, as the chat is saying.
Yeah?
If Juan has 1 million fans, then I am one of them. If Juan has 10 fans, then I am one of them. If Juan has no fans, then I am dead. I just wanted to say that. And this has been the end of the stream. Thank you guys.
Oh, sevens.
Thank you guys for attending the stream 07 and good night.